So today we're taking a look at the Totallee thin case for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now this is a super thin case. It is only 0.51 millimeters thin. So let's take a look at how it is and how it fits on the phone. Now starting off with the packaging, very simple, nothing crazy, just says Totallee cases on the bottom of it, and that's pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and pull it out, and here you are greeted with this little bag with the case in it, and a little, we'd love a review card. So nice little packaging from Totallee, nothing too crazy. Let's go ahead and set that off to the side. And on the back of this little bag, it says they do donate 1% to charity. You get a 2-year warranty, and it's a 100% recyclable phone case. And it says it's a slim and minimal phone case with a little bit more information down there. So let's go ahead and pop this open. Very easy to open here. And that's all you get. And here we have our case. So starting off with the back of this case, I don't know if you guys can see, like if you just push on it, this is so thin that it actually makes it kind of flimsy, but it does feel pretty good on the phone, and we'll get to that. But starting off with the back, you get this very smooth, honestly kind of slippery material. There's absolutely no texture to it whatsoever, really anywhere around the case. So you just get this very smooth, almost feels like paper type material, if you can hear that. And you just get that little camera ring protector right there. And on the inside, same thing. Now this is so thin that it actually does not have a MagSafe ring here. It's not built into the case or anything like that. This has absolutely no built-in MagSafe. So that's pretty much it. You get this same exact material all the way around the sides of the phone. On the inside, the outside, everything is exactly the same. All one color, no extra design or anything like that. And really, I don't see any branding on this either, which is kind of nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at how much this weighs. So I am going to actually compare this directly to the later case. And the reason why I want to do that is because this is another case that's super thin and also does not have MagSafe, and we're going to test them both out and see which one's stronger or are they the same. So let's go ahead and start off with just weighing them. Now, we do have our scale set to grams. Let's go ahead and set the Totallee on. And we're looking at 7 grams. Super light case. I mean, this thing literally feels like the weight of like 2 or 3 pieces of paper. It is super thin. So we're looking at 8 grams? 7 grams? What are we looking at here? Hang on. Okay, 8 grams. So I was wrong. We're looking at 8 grams on this case. And just to take the later case and weigh that for comparison, I'm going to actually set it on this side, weigh that. So here we're looking at 12 grams. So this one on its back, is it going to give us the same? Yep, same 8. So 4 grams difference. The Totallee case is 4 grams lighter than the later case. Now, before we slap this onto our 15 Pro Max, I just want to show you guys, I mean, look at this. Look at how flimsy this thing is. It's literally like paper. I mean, it even kind of wafts in the wind, so to speak. But it's a very flimsy case. Like I said, you can kind of even see it pressing in right there. So that is something to note with this. And also, I do want to show you guys how it fits on the edges of the phone. You're going to get a ton of play all around this case. So that is definitely something to note right there. It's not the case that you plan on, if you drop your phone or anything like that. I can't promise that this would even stay in the phone, and I'm not a fan of how flimsy this is. And it's flimsy all over, down at the bottom, up at the top, all of that. So definitely something to note with this case. Again, this case is so thin that it doesn't even have like a little grip around the front of the phone or anything like that. It is super thin. So let's go ahead and step around it. Now on the top hand side, it is completely closed. On the left hand side, you do have every one of your buttons open. So we're not gonna do a button test because you are clicking the actual buttons of your phone. But one thing I noticed that's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, if you guys can see, the action button is a hair off center. So I do wish they would just kind of lower the cutout a tiny bit, maybe a millimeter or 2, just to get that on centered. But kind of, I'm not really seeing it. A little bit with these buttons as well. It's not as noticeable with the volume up and down buttons, but with the action button, it is a little bit more noticeable. Now, moving along to the bottom, we do have our accurate microphone and speaker cutouts, as well as that USB Type-C. And this is a nice wide open Type-C port. So if you go ahead and put a cable in there, you do have some space around the rest of it for a little bit of a thicker head cable. So that is nice to see. And moving along to the right-hand side, we do have a completely closed in, except for the power button that you are actually clicking the power button on your iPhone. And this one seems to be the most on-center button out of all the buttons around the case. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this feels in the hand. Now, this case is super, super thin. It literally feels like you are holding your phone without a case on it. So much so that I kind of have to say, I think the iPhone itself without a case is even more grippy than just this case, because with the glass and the titanium around it, especially when you get a little bit of fingerprinting on there, some of your finger oils, it gets a little bit more, not necessarily textured, but a little bit more comfortable to hold and a little bit less slippery. This case is super slippery. I mean, if you can just kind of see, I can't even get it to balance from one hand to the other. I'm just letting it glide down my hands right there. So this is a case that's super slippery. I have almost dropped it a few times, and that's just in general use. Like even with one hand, if you're not careful, it'll slip off of your pinky like that, and you know, it'll come right down. So I would like to see some sort of grip around the sides at least, or maybe a slight more texture on this case. That way it's not as slippery, because right now this thing is crazy, crazy slippery. And I do have to mention that because I myself have almost dropped it. And I'm usually pretty careful with my phones. And with this one, it's just a little bit too slippery for my liking. Now, let's go ahead and test the MagSafe on this. And I am going to test these accessories, but the biggest star is going to be the Anker 623 today. We're going to actually compare the Totallee case to the later case with the 623. But for right now, let's go ahead and take our Apple MagSafe wallet with just this insert in there, slap it on. We are going to get our MagSafe animation, and as soon as you rub your hand across this, it's moving. I don't know if you can see, it does kind of bring itself back into place. So you do get a little bit of MagSafe connection on here, but especially with a wallet style, you know, MagSafe accessory, I could never trust this being in my pocket, because as soon as you put this in your pocket, it is coming off. And you know, if you're somewhere out and about, not necessarily paying attention, you slide the phone in your pocket, it's coming right off. So that is something to definitely note with your MagSafe wallets for those of you guys that use them. And let's go ahead and take the Apple MagSafe battery pack, attach that. Let's get our, one more time, get our MagSafe animation. Okay, no animation. For some reason, this battery pack gives me an animation sometimes, other times it doesn't, but it is charging, if you can see right there. And on here, you can kind of, you know, give it a little bit of a rub as if you were putting it in your pocket. And it's got that alignment magnet, and the magnets on the Apple MagSafe battery pack are a little bit stronger than on the wallet, so it is on there a little bit better. But if you give this a shake, I can already feel it slipping. I'm scared. There it is. It's coming off. So definitely not a super strong MagSafe type of case. You give it one good shake, and that is going to come right off. So that is definitely something to note. And finally, let's go ahead and bring our Anker 623 on here. Now, right now, we do have it connecting, and it is slightly picking it up, but you give it a little bit of a shake, and it's coming right off. It's going to try. It's definitely trying to pick it up, and it's succeeding, but if you can see, if you move it a little bit, it's coming right off. Now, let's go ahead and test out how it's going to be on a mount, and then we'll bring over the later case and put that on the phone and see which one has a little bit of a stronger magnetic connection. Now, again, this case is 0.51 millimeters thin, and the later case is 0.6 millimeters thin, so it's a little bit thicker than the Totallee, and let's see if that makes a difference. But let's give it our 360-degree test, and unfortunately, if you give it any kind of, you know, push or anything like that, it is going to come right off. So I would say 360-degree test, you have to be very careful. You can't do it with one hand, and if you're going to sit here and you're going to, you know, tap it around, I would almost be afraid, oh, it looks like it's going to stick around. Let's try it in landscape mode. Give it, you know, some push, and let me hold that down. It'll be a little bit better. You know, give it some push, and it's going to stick on your MagSafe mount or on your charger with no problem. It's just if you pick it up, it's coming right off. So this isn't the case that you're looking for if you're somebody who relies on MagSafe all the time and you want a little bit of a stronger connection. It's definitely not what you're looking for. So let's actually go ahead and leave the 623 right here. We'll take this off. And before we actually do that, I did kind of forget to check out how the corners are. So let's give that a little click. Very easy to take off, requires pretty much no effort whatsoever. These bottom corners are a little bit more difficult, but they are on there, and there you go. So pretty simple to take off, but it's not gonna give you, you know, like that Taurus case where you can just do it with one finger. You do kind of have to give it a little bit of force, and I do like that a lot. So let's go ahead and get this off, and it's so thin that there's really no good way to even get it off. But let's go ahead and bring over our later case. We'll put the phone in there, and let's see how this is going to do with MagSafe. Now, the big difference for me here is the later case actually has good grip. It shows a lot of fingerprints, but it's got good grip on there, so that definitely helps with those MagSafe accessories a little bit. You know, I'm sitting here and, you know, maneuvering the Apple MagSafe wallet around a little bit, and it's not moving nearly as easily as it was on the Totallee. So let's go ahead and try with the Anker 623, and it's pretty much, let's see, it's not gonna allow you to really pick it up, but let's see. Nope, can't really do the one finger spin either on this. It's gonna come off. So about the same strength on the MagSafe. Let's see how it is with trying to pick this up. Now here it's doing a little bit better. It's I can see the stand opening up a little bit more than it did with the Totallee. So that is definitely something that I like. I mean, obviously I wish we had MagSafe on both of these cases, on all cases. All cases need MagSafe, but this one at least is, I think with that grip right there, it's gonna provide a little bit better MagSafe strength, and definitely easier to hold and use because it's not nearly as slippery. I mean, especially once you get a little bit of fingerprinting on here, this thing is actually very grippy. So that is definitely something to note with this Totallee case, that you guys, you know, if you're somebody who's looking for a little bit of grip on your phone, I would say this case is not the one for you because it is pretty slippery. And besides that, like I said, it feels great in the hand. It's super, super thin. I haven't had any issues using it or anything like that. It's been a pleasure except for the fact of how slippery it is. And of course, I'm somebody who kind of uses MagSafe accessories a little more often. I use, you know, charging stands here, and at my office, I have one that I just kind of keep it on there. And that's, you know, one of those things. Besides that, I mean, the price on this is $39. Now, it is on sale on Amazon right now for about $19.50, which is a great price for something like this if you're looking for super, super, super minimal to literally just protect from scratches. This is something that you can definitely buy. Same thing with the later case. You know, it'll protect you from slight scratches and things like that, but any drops or anything like that, you're on your own. You better have AppleCare because this one's not protecting that. And also, this does come in a few different colors. It comes in a clear, a red, which is this color. It comes in frosted clear, green, navy blue, and frosted black. And also one thing that I've noticed, if you see that, and you just give it a little bit of a scratch, it's gonna kind of show that. I'm not sure if it's picking up well on camera or not, but it is gonna show some of that scratching there. So that is definitely something to note about this case. Now, do I recommend it? And honestly, for me, I think that it's just a little bit too, not necessarily thin, but a little too much as far as the slipperiness. And, you know, just the feeling of it is great, but for me, I can't recommend something that's this slippery, especially when you got other options. If you're not somebody who necessarily cares too much about having the MagSafe, you just want that super ultra thin, I would definitely go with the later case over this one just because of that extra grip. It's a little bit thicker, but you're really honestly not even going to notice it. When this later case is on your phone, it literally just feels like you're holding a naked iPhone, just like it does with this Totallee case. But I do have to recommend a later case much more than this one just because of that grip. Using this case is much easier and much safer against dropping or anything than using the Totallee. So for $19.50, you guys can definitely pick it up, try it out. It's pretty good. I have been enjoying using it, but I just, behind the slipperiness and the fact, obviously, that there's no MagSafe, it's just not the case for me. So let me know what you guys think about this one. Have you ever tried Totallee? Would you plan on picking one up? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.